Every morning, James would wake up feeling like he hadn't slept at all. He wasn't in pain, he wasn't sick, he just felt tired, like his body was carrying a weight no one else could see. At 68, he figured it was just age. That slow, invisible fade we're all told to accept. But something didn't feel right. His belly seemed more bloated, his sleep lighter, his energy missing. He'd given up coffee, walked every afternoon, cut down on meat. Still, something was off. Then one day during a routine checkup, his doctor said, "Your liver looks a bit fatty, nothing to worry about for now." But what if that was the real reason James had felt like a dimmed version of himself? A silent overload in his liver, slowly draining his strength, mood, and vitality, one day at a time? And what if a simple cup of tea could help change everything? In today's video, you'll discover the natural tea that helped James feel better in just 7 days, the subtle symptoms of a fatty liver that most people over 60 ignore, why eating healthy can still hurt your liver, and the #1 food to watch out for, a 5-minute ritual that supports your liver's natural healing process, and the story of someone who reversed their fatty liver without medication. But before we dive in, tell me in the comments, how old are you and where are you watching from? Let's see how many people around the world are on this same journey. Mild bloating, restless sleep, that stubborn fatigue that follows you all day, even when you haven't done much. If you're over 60, you've probably told yourself, it's just age. But what if it's not? Meet Susan, 72, retired teacher from Missouri. No major health problems. Still walks her dog every morning. Still cooks dinner every night. But she started noticing a few odd things. She felt full faster, even with small meals. Her pants felt tighter around the waist even though her weight hadn't changed, and she was falling asleep easily. But waking up around 3 a.m., wide awake. Her doctor ran standard blood tests. Everything came back normal. But something still wasn't right. Then during an ultrasound for unrelated stomach pain, there it was. Fatty liver, her first reaction. But I don't drink. I eat well. How could this happen? The truth is, your liver doesn't scream when it's in trouble. It whispers, through tiny symptoms that we're taught to ignore. Fatigue, mild abdominal swelling, interrupted sleep, slight nausea after meals, trouble concentrating. For many, these are brushed off as aging, but often they're the first red flags of a liver under pressure. Here's the scary part. Your liver can become up to 30% fatty before standard blood tests pick it up. That means the damage is already happening long before your doctor notices. And if ignored, that fatty buildup doesn't just sit there. It turns into inflammation, then scarring, then for some, cirrhosis, even without a single drop of alcohol. That's why understanding these early signs matters, because if caught early, the liver has an amazing ability to heal. And that healing often starts with something as simple as what's on your plate, or even what's in your mug. But before we get to the tea that changed everything for Susan and what not to eat, let's talk about the biggest mistake many people make, even those who think they're eating healthy. Susan, like many people over 60, always thought she ate pretty well. No junk food, no fast food, hardly any fried foods. Her breakfast? A slice of whole wheat toast with a little jam, sometimes oatmeal with a banana. Light, simple, clean, right? But here's what most people, including Susan, don't realize. The real villain in fatty liver isn't always fat. It's sugar, and more specifically, refined carbs that act like sugar in your body. Let's break it down simply. Refined carbs? White bread, crackers, cereal, cookies, white rice, pasta. Even that healthy whole wheat toast? It spikes your blood sugar too. Here's what happens after you eat those carbs. Blood sugar rises. Insulin kicks in. The liver tries to manage the overload. Excess glucose turns into fat, stored right inside the liver. Now imagine doing that 3 times a day for 30 years. Even with small portions. Even with healthy labels. Over time, This leads to a condition called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, and it's exploding among seniors who don't drink, don't overeat, and don't understand what their breakfast is doing to their liver. A 2022 study published in Hepatology found that nearly 1 in 3 adults over 65 has some degree of liver fat, even with normal weight and cholesterol. Why? Because we've been trained to fear fat, but not fear toast. And that innocent slice of bread in the morning? It might be feeding your liver fat slowly, quietly every day. James, the man we mentioned earlier, had the same habit: toast in the morning, pasta at night. When he cut back just those 2 things and added 1 herbal tea, he began to notice changes in just a week. Less bloating, better energy, deeper sleep. But why did that tea help? And why do so many people still feel anxious and foggy, even when eating well? Let's dive into something even more surprising. Have you ever felt more anxious as you've gotten older? Restless, irritable, a little foggy in the head? Trouble sleeping, but can't explain why? You're not alone, and you're not imagining it. Let's go back to Susan. A few months before her fatty liver diagnosis, she noticed something else. She'd wake up with her heart racing. Small things, like forgetting where she put her keys, made her feel panicky. She'd always been calm, but lately, it felt like her nerves were on edge. Her doctor said it was just stress, but something deeper was happening, inside her liver. Here's the science, made simple. Your liver isn't just a detox organ. It plays a critical role in regulating hormones, like cortisol and estrogen, blood sugar stability, vitamin storage, especially B12 and D, which affect mood, and even neurotransmitter balance, including serotonin. When the liver is inflamed, even mildly, it can't filter out stress hormones efficiently. It also struggles to convert amino acids into calming brain chemicals. The result? You feel more anxious. You sleep lighter. You forget words more often. You feel emotionally overwhelmed, even with small things. This is not just aging. It's a signal, a whisper from your liver. Researchers have even found a link between fatty liver and mild depression in seniors, especially those with disrupted sleep or low vitamin D. But here's the good news. When Susan started drinking her liver-friendly tea and removed some of those sneaky sugars, her mind began to clear. Her anxiety lessened. She slept through the night for the first time in months. Her memory improved. It wasn't a miracle. It was biology rebalanced. And it all started with giving her liver a break and some natural support. Now let's talk about that tea. Because yes, it helped Susan and James feel better in 7 days, but only because they prepared it the right way and drank it at the right time. Let's go back to James, 68. He was skeptical when he first heard about a liver detox tea. "I don't believe in magic potions," he said, but he was also tired of feeling drained every morning. A friend, a retired nurse, told him about a natural tea that had helped her sister. Dandelion root plus milk thistle, plus lemon peel. Just 3 ingredients. No sugar, no caffeine, no side effects. Just nature, working quietly. So James gave it a shot. But he didn't just boil it and sip randomly. He followed a specific ritual. Morning only, before eating anything steeped for 10 full minutes covered, to release active compounds. Freshly squeezed lemon peel, not bottled juice, no sweetener, not even honey. Why does this matter? Because this tea isn't just hydrating. It activates 3 powerful processes in your body. Dandelion root supports bile production, helping break down fats stored in the liver milk thistle, silymarin, protects liver cells from further damage, and promotes regeneration, lemon peel oils. Stimulate enzymes that flush toxins through the lymphatic system. When combined, this tea becomes a gentle liver reset, especially when taken during your liver's natural detox window. Early morning. Between 6 and 9 a.m., your liver is in a cleanup mode. Drinking this tea during that time helps boost its natural rhythm, instead of working against it. After 7 days, James noticed something surprising. His belly felt flatter. His sleep was deeper, his cravings for sugar dropped. But here's what's most important. The tea helped, but only because he also reduced refined carbs, walked for 15 minutes after meals, drank more water, ate dinner earlier. This is not a miracle drink. It's a tool, and like any tool, it only works if used the right way, and with consistency. Coming up, I'll give you the exact recipe and daily ritual James used, and a bonus tip to make the tea even more effective. But first, let's address something dangerous. Why so many people ignore their liver, even when it's quietly failing. When Susan heard the words fatty liver, her first instinct was denial. But my blood tests were normal, she told her doctor, and he nodded. Yes, that's the problem. Here's something few people over 60 are told. You can have significant liver damage and still have perfect blood work. Why? Because your liver is incredibly silent. It doesn't complain until the damage is well advanced. And even then, the early warnings are invisible on standard lab reports. Let's break it down. Most doctors order LT and AST enzymes, markers of liver inflammation, bilirubin, GGT, sometimes alkaline phosphatase. But these only spike when there's active damage or inflammation. They don't always reflect fat buildup, which is the first step towards serious liver disease. Think of it like a house with mold inside the walls. From the outside, it looks fine, but underneath, silent decay. That's why many experts now recommend abdominal ultrasounds, especially for people over 60, with belly fat or mild insulin resistance, even without diabetes. The scary part, by the time blood tests show a problem, your liver may already be inflamed, or worse, developing fibrosis. In Susan's case, it was a simple ultrasound for unrelated bloating that revealed the truth. And that discovery, it saved her life. Because once she knew, she could act. That's why if you're over 60, have a belly that's hard to lose, or feel chronic fatigue, you should ask your doctor for an ultrasound even if your blood tests are fine. It's painless, quick, and often covered by insurance. Don't wait for symptoms to scream. Listen when they whisper. Now that you understand the risk, let's look deeper. How exactly does liver fat rob your body's energy? And why do so many seniors with fatty liver feel older than they really are? Let's uncover what's happening inside your cells. James once said, "I feel like I'm 20 years older than I am, and no one can tell me why." He wasn't sick, he wasn't depressed, but he felt slow, weak, fuzzy, as if his body was running on 50% power. The truth? That invisible layer of fat inside his liver was doing more damage than he realized. Let's simplify what's happening. Your liver isn't just a detox organ. It's like the battery charger for your entire body. It manages blood sugar regulation, hormone balance, fat digestion, nutrient conversion, protein synthesis, inflammation control. When your liver is clogged with fat, its performance drops, and the effects ripple through your whole system. Slower metabolism, harder to burn fat or build muscle, chronic fatigue, low cellular energy, mitochondrial dysfunction, increased pain, more inflammation in joints and tissues, hormonal imbalance, testosterone, estrogen, cortisol out of sync, muscle loss, lower protein synthesis and amino acid availability. That's why many seniors with fatty liver feel more tired after meals, weaker after simple activities, foggy during conversations, frustrated with weight that won't budge, even with diet, but it doesn't stop there. Fatty liver also accelerates biological aging. Studies show that people with NAFLD have shorter telomeres, a marker of aging, higher oxidative stress, greater risk of memory decline. But here's the hope. The liver is one of the few organs that can fully regenerate if you give it the right environment. And that starts with small, consistent changes. That's why James didn't just drink tea. He created a 5-minute morning ritual that jump-started his liver's recovery every single day. Let me show you how he did it, and how you can too. James didn't change his life overnight. He didn't take supplements. He didn't count calories. He just started doing one thing every morning, before breakfast. And in just 2 weeks, he felt like someone had flipped a switch inside his body. Here's the ritual. Step 1. Warm water with lemon, no sugar. Right after waking up, squeeze half a fresh lemon into a glass of warm water. Drink it slowly, on an empty stomach. Why? Lemon stimulates bile production, helping your liver flush out toxins more effectively. Warm water also wakes up your digestive tract, encouraging healthy bowel movements, critical for toxin elimination. Step 2. Liver tea, dandelion, plus milk thistle, plus lemon peel. After your lemon water, brew the tea we mentioned earlier. 1 TSP dried dandelion root, 1 TSP milk thistle seed, lightly crushed, a strip of fresh lemon peel. Steep for 10 minutes, covered. Drink warm. This combo activates your liver's natural detox pathways, especially when taken before food. Step 3. Deep belly breathing, 3 minutes. Before checking your phone or turning on the news, sit comfortably. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly for 6 seconds. Repeat for 3 minutes. Why this matters? Deep breathing stimulates your vagus nerve, reducing cortisol, stress hormone, and improving blood flow to the liver. It also shifts your body into repair mode, a state where regeneration actually happens. James committed to this 5-minute ritual for 7 days. He didn't expect miracles, but he got something better. His digestion improved, his energy lifted, his brain fog cleared, and most importantly, he felt in control again. This ritual costs nothing. It requires no gym, no pills, no willpower. Just a few quiet minutes in the morning to give your liver a chance to catch up, and it worked. Next, let me share the story of Patricia, 67, who reversed her fatty liver in 3 weeks with simple changes. No medications, no complicated diets, just a handful of small, consistent steps. Patricia was 67 when she got the news. Her ultrasound showed moderate fatty liver. Her doctor's advice? Lose weight, eat better, come back in 6 months. But Patricia wasn't overweight. She walked every day, ate salads, she didn't smoke, didn't drink. She was frustrated, confused, scared. She asked, "If I'm doing everything right, why is my liver still struggling?" That night, she sat down at her kitchen table and made a decision. I can't fix this overnight, but I can do one small thing every day. Here's what she changed. 1. Morning tea ritual. She started each day with lemon water, followed by the liver tea. No coffee before 10 a.m., no toast, no cereal. 2. Swapped bread for greens. Lunch used to be a sandwich. Now it was sautéed spinach, a boiled egg, and olive oil. Simple, affordable, no stress. 3. 10-minute walk after dinner, just around the block. She didn't treat it like exercise. She treated it like a gift to her liver. 4. Earlier bedtime, no screen after 9 p.m. She realized her sleep was shallow. With better sleep, her digestion and energy improved fast. 5. 1 minute of breathing before each meal. No more eating in a rush. She learned that slowing down before eating helps digestion and reduces liver stress. 3 weeks later, she went back for follow-up blood work. Her liver enzymes had improved. Her doctor was surprised. Her bloating was gone. Her sleep was deeper. Her mood was better. But the biggest change? Patricia felt hopeful. Because for the first time in years, she wasn't afraid of what her body might be hiding. She had taken control, without pills, without fear, without perfection. Her story is not unusual. In fact, it's more common than you think when we give the liver what it actually needs. But here's the real question. What does the liver truly need to heal and regenerate? Let's go beyond food. Let's talk about the internal environment that allows your liver to do what it was designed to do: repair itself. By now, you've learned that food matters. Tea helps. Refined carbs hurt. Sleep, water, and movement all play a role. But let me tell you something few people will. Your liver doesn't just process toxins, it also processes emotions. Yes, science now shows that chronic stress, poor sleep, and emotional suppression all contribute to liver dysfunction. Here's why. Stress, inflammation. Long-term stress increases cortisol, which leads to systemic inflammation, including in the liver. Poor sleep, poor detox. Your liver does most of its cleansing between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. If you're awake during that time, or your sleep is shallow, your liver can't finish the job. Emotional tension. Energy stagnation. In traditional medicine, the liver is seen as the organ of anger and resentment. Whether or not you believe in that philosophy, studies confirm that people with unresolved emotional stress tend to have higher rates of liver disease. So, what does the liver need? Stillness, sleep, safe expression. That's why part of your healing must include deep, uninterrupted sleep, 7 to 9 hours. Gentle, mindful breathing, even 3 minutes a day. Journaling or quiet reflection to release emotions safely. Connection with people who bring peace, not pressure. Remember, your liver has an extraordinary ability to regenerate, but it needs the right conditions, not just the right nutrients. And the beauty of this? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent, to show your body, every day. I'm on your side. As you've seen in James's and Patricia's stories, you're not broken, you're not too old, and you're not alone. If you're over 60 and you've felt tired, bloated, anxious, or just not yourself, please know this. It might not be age. It might not be in your head. It might be your liver, and it might be trying to tell you something. But here's the good news. Your liver wants to heal. And now, you know how to help it. Let's recap the 9 truths we uncovered today. Fatigue, bloating, and light insomnia can be the first signs of liver overload. Even healthy eaters can develop fatty liver, especially from refined carbs. Liver inflammation affects mood, memory, and sleep more than most people realize. A simple tea with dandelion, milk, thistle, and lemon can spark real change. Normal blood tests don't always show early liver damage. Ask for an ultrasound. Fatty liver slows metabolism and accelerates aging from the inside. A 5-minute morning ritual can jumpstart healing. Small, consistent changes reversed Patricia's liver in 3 weeks. Your liver needs rest, rhythm, and emotional release, not just a diet. Now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments, which one of these 9 points surprised you the most? And what change are you willing to make this week? And before you go, drop your age and country in the comments. Let's build a global map of healing. Hit that like button if this video helped you and subscribe for more natural solutions. Every week you're not alone, you're not behind, and you're not powerless. You are the healer your body's been waiting for.